Hi guys, welcome to this week's installment of the Vontolken Diaries. I'm going to give you a really quick update because I want to get into the topic pretty quickly because I think it's going to be a heavy one. No, I know it's going to be a heavy one and I might ramble for a little while. I launched my website this week, thecurationofman.com. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm trying to do 15-ish articles a week, 12 to 15, and I was able to do that this week, which is nice. So check it out if you have some time and like us on Facebook, join the conversation, all that type of thing. Conversation with me at the moment, but yeah. And I also shot an online ad. I can't really talk about what it's for or what it is yet because they want to keep it kind of hush-hush until it comes out. But it was really fun to do. It was comedic and it's mostly me. So it's I think it's gonna look really nice on my reel and be a lot of fun for friends and family to watch. So I will let you know when that comes out too. But I want to talk about this week's topic, which is, as you would have seen from the title, body image. This is a topic that I feel like you can probably hear from my voice is quite emotional for me. I'm someone that has someone that has dealt with body image issues and body dysmorphia really for a number of years. I think like 20 years I've had body image issues. And they have definitely a million times gotten better over the last like 4 or 5 years as I've dealt with stuff and worked on myself. But there's still little pinches of the negativity and lack of self-worth that comes in every now and then when I see a photo of myself or see myself, a reflection and stuff, and feel like I'm not looking how I want to look. I shut those down now pretty damn quickly, and it's like I say, it's a million times better, but it's not something that I can say has been eradicated completely. The reason I wanted to talk about this today was because although I think body image is a reasonably well spoken of topic in society, it generally is spoken of in relation to women, and I don't think it's spoken of enough, or at least I haven't seen it spoken of enough in relation to men. I know a number of men who deal with body image issues, straight and gay, and I think it's far more prevalent than people know, because there are some people who, I don't know, don't talk about it. And as much as I hate to generalize, I think sometimes it's because maybe it's something that men shouldn't be talking about. You know what I mean? Like it is, but maybe people feel like they shouldn't be. It's not really an issue. It shouldn't matter what the body's like, a male body is like, and all that type of thing. There's not that pressure or anything. But there is that pressure. I'm here to tell you there is that pressure. So when I was younger, I was told by a number of people that I had body dysmorphia, and I didn't really accept it at the time. I look back now and I go, yep, you definitely did, because I was looking at my body multiple times a day. I'm not talking like 2 or 3, I'm talking 30, 40 times a day in the mirror, constantly checking to make sure that I was comfortable with how I looked and comfortable, and I felt sexy, I felt attractive, because my entire self-worth was tied up in whether other people found me attractive or not. Of course, that whole notion comes from a number of different issues that meant I felt no self-worth in my personality and who I was, and I'll talk about that in a different video. But it doesn't take away from the fact that for me, everything I was my physique. I never ever thought I was big enough. I know for women it's often not thin enough, not petite enough, or something like that. But for me and other men I know, it's that they're never big enough. They're never muscly enough. I look at that and I go, I understand where that analogy came from, because I worked as a model and an actor, and then I also, as a way of dealing with sex issues, which again will be in another video, I used to watch a lot of pornography because I couldn't connect with someone sexually on a personal level, on a real level, so I had to just do it by myself and really kind of sit with myself in it. And models and porn stars and actors often had really great physiques, and so that's who I was comparing myself to a lot of the time, and going, these people look up to these people and respect these people, and well, respect is, I don't know, but they find these people attractive is more the point, and that's what I want. I want people to find me attractive, because if I can do that, then I can feel fulfilled, and I don't have to, this feeling of feeling shitty all the time and depressed all the time will go away, which of course it was never going to, because hey, you have to deal with the mental, not the physical. But at the time, that's subconsciously what I was feeling. If I could just get people to find me attractive, then I could get through life rather than live life, if that makes sense. So this went on for like 15 years, a long time, long time. And it all came to a head when I was in my late 20s, and I got sick on a modelling job in Korea and ended up having to spend a year housebound back home. And in that time, even though I tried my hardest to go to the gym, and yeah, I was sick as a dog, and I was still trying to go to the gym, trying to eat 6 times a day and get my macros right and all that type of thing, because if I didn't, I was going to lose my physique, and I was not going to be as attractive as what I wanted to be and what other people wanted me to be, I thought. But of course, that all eventually had to fall away, and I became a very snappy, I had always considered myself, although I had been depressed, I was always kind of cheery with people and nice, and I don't know. So it's a weird dichotomy. Like, I'd be depressed, but then I'd always be like happy-go-lucky a little bit. That sounds weird, but it's true. But in this year, I was grumpy and snappy and irritable like I've never been before. And although some part of that was the illness, I also think a lot of that was the fact that I was now having to deal with not being able to keep up a physique that my whole identity was based on. This actually ended up being a really good thing. Like, for the next 3 years, I was still pretty unhappy, but things started to shift where I understood that in order to be happy, I had to let go of all of that and work on the mental side of things before I could really realize whether doing gym, doing modeling, doing acting, doing all those things that kind of played into my insecurities about body was something I was passionate about and loved doing, or whether it was simply because I wanted attention and I wanted to feel good from other people. In that time, in the couple of years, I started to be a vegan, which, first, let me say, I'm not saying that you should become a vegan to deal with body image issues. I promise I'm not. But it's just something instinctively said to me, do this. And I did. And that was strange because my whole life had been about eating enough protein, which meant eating enough meat. And as many ill-educated people about veganism and vegetarianism, I was like, well, you can't get enough protein from it. You can't get the good protein, the one that will kind of get into your system faster that you can from like red meat or something. But still, I listened to myself, which was really unlike me. I listened to myself, and I did it, and I became raw vegan for a few months, and I ended up losing a lot of weight. Again, hence why I'm not saying people should do this to deal with body image issues, so don't get me wrong. I'm just giving you my journey and what it helped me realize. And that is that in order to become more mentally sound in relation to my body, in relation to my attractiveness or my physique or all of that, I had to let it all go and be prepared for it never to come back, for me never to do gym again, for me never to eat 6 meals a day again, for me never to have long hair again. I shaved all my hair off. I reset myself. Now, again, I don't think you have to go to that extreme to reset yourself. I don't. I did because I listened to myself and it's just how it happened. I look back and I go, well, I wish I didn't have to do that. But so strong was my issues that I feel like the pendulum swung the other way and I just went there. I'm no longer vegan. I eat meat again. But what the last 5 years have taught me is that I can survive and I am fine. I can be happy without looking a certain way. I can be happy without constantly being concerned about what other people are thinking of me. In fact, I'm more happy, of course. And funnily enough, it also made me fall in love with the acting again. It made me fall in love with the gym and health and fitness, because this is something that I realized I really loved, but I was coming at it from the wrong angle. And it actually also made me like modeling, which I never did when I was younger. I actually hated it. And I was never a good model because I was so self-conscious and self-insecure. And so releasing everything made me understand them better and made me understand myself better. And as a consequence, I became a happier person. Like I said at the beginning though, it's not something that can say that I'm rid of and that I never have to deal with. But I feel like it's a much more normal level now. I have moments where I look at myself in the mirror and go, ugh, really? But I shut that down pretty quickly because I understand that it means very little. It means very little to my happiness, how I look. And it should. And it should. So, I don't know if anyone watching this has had body image issues or is currently suffering from body image issues or anything like that. But no matter if you are or you aren't, I just want you to be aware that there are people out there, I mean, I suppose like every other issue, but there are people out there who are suffering and who are really feeling like they're worth nothing based purely on their physique. I should rephrase that. Their self-worth is based purely on how they look. And I just don't think that's how, I mean, I've experienced it, that's not how happiness is achieved. And so be kind to these people and be an ear if they need it, because it's actually a really difficult thing to deal with. And like I say, there's a lot more men that are dealing with it than not. Wait, no, there are a lot more men that are dealing with it than we think they are. Sorry, that was not the way to say it. as a side note, sort of, you will realize that all the videos I've done so far, and it's going to be continue on until I run out of photos, I've attached a cover photo on my Instagram, on the IGTV, that is an old photo of myself. I am not doing this because I'm reveling in the past or anything like that. I'm actually doing it as a way to reclaim those images. So those images were taken at a point in my life where I had no sense of worth in myself, and I looked at those images at the time and always, even if I thought the images were good, I always felt like I wasn't attractive enough. But I always still wanted people to look at those images and want to find me attractive and to have a response to it. Whereas now, I look at those images and I go, no, it's just me. And so I'm doing a little hashtag, reclaim my image. And if any of you guys have some old images of yourselves that you used to look at, or you still look at, and you find hard, I challenge you to post them or to repost them, and with the hashtag reclaim my image, because you, in that moment, no matter how you look at yourself or how you looked at yourself, whatever it is, you in that moment were beautiful, are beautiful. I promise. So that is it. I'm really grateful for you guys listening to this. It's been an interesting video to do. Next week I'll do something, I'm not going to say more lighter, I'll do something that I'm not so emotionally invested in. I'll give myself a few weeks before I do that again. I hope you all have had a good week, and you are having a good week. And I hope you all really do know how beautiful every person on this planet is. Truly. Bye, guys.